Okay, so as promised, I was going to show you how to get from a blank tag to something a bit more interesting, which is this one, which has got lots of detail, texture layers. Sure, that's sort of coming up very well. It's got some rust pastes, some texture paste and some acrylic paints. So I'm going to talk you through and give you a step-by-step process. The products that I've used on the project are paints from Decoart Media. These are fluid acrylics, so they're really nice consistency to work with. We'll come on to those when we get our colour down. I've gone the wrong way round. I should have told you about texture paste first. So texture paste, that gives it the first layer of texture through stencil. For this one I've used the Tim Holtz sort of swirly texture. It's THS032 is the stencil number if you wanted to take a note of that. And then for the rust effects, I've used some Prima Marketing texture pastes. There's lots and lots of different texture pastes out there. So if you've got a different product, then go for it. You can find all sorts of artist mediums which have got sand paste. So they've got grains of sand in them, which you can then combine with a pigment to make a rust effect paste as well. So, but for this project I've used those, so we'll come on to those in a little bit more detail. I'm a firm believer of recycling cardboard from cereal packets, and love the texture that you get through particularly Shreddies and Cheerios. I've come to like quite nice. I find them quite nice. I've just got a selection of tag dies that I tend to go to. So these again are Tim Holtz. I think they're framelets. It's a set of these and some other little elements that came with that set. So I often will just have a die cutting session and create several tags. So when I get the feeling I want to work on a tag, I've also always got some to hand. So from a plain tag, we're then on to adding our texture through a stencil. So hopefully you can see, if I just sort of bend that around a little bit, you can see that we've got a texture paste there that has just been literally the consistency. It's like spreading butter. If you haven't done it before, then it's just a lovely consistency. This particular one from Ranger, but again, so many products out there, artists mediums which are texture pastes. So have a look around, try out different ones and see what one you like. So from there we go with just giving it a coat of gesso, which we can just quickly do now. And as I say, I wanted to work this project through in kind of real time, really, just to give you an idea of how to get the finished effect. So just move that one out of the way. So literally it's just a quick rough over of gesso. It just gives a nice key for me for the paint to go onto, and it also allows you to lift off a layer. If you find that you don't like what you've put down, it will allow you just to lift back a layer with a paper towel or kitchen roll or baby wipes. So there we go, that's that section done. Really, really quick, and this is the sort of project that I like. Quick, easy, to sort of just keep us going. So let's whiz through this. So give that a bit of a blast with my heat tool. Oh, so it's a blast with a heat gun, and then we can get on to paint. always have a water bottle, spray bottle. You can pick up one from Boots or Chemist. I'll just recycle something old that we've had lying around. So I work off of just a pile of old magazines. The first thing I'm going to do here is just water down. We're going to use the transparent yellow iron oxide and just start to literally just get some paint onto the tag, and then get some water and just get the paint moving around. Okay, so we're literally just getting some paint and just letting that move around. The gesso isn't completely dry on here, so but you get the idea. And we're just spritz with a little bit more water. We can move the tag around and let that just get a little bit more paint on here. Just trying to get a bit. Hopefully you can see it's a bit getting used to having my phone up on a tripod, so bear with me. Hopefully you can get the idea of what I'm doing. And in between, I'm just going to give a blast with a heat tool. It might not look very much at the moment, but we just keep building up the layers. And it's up to you how much paint, how little paint you want to add on. And we'll just give that a keep blasting that. Paint's starting to bubble nicely. I like getting a bit of texture from my acrylic paints as they dry too. You can often get a little bubble effect going on, so I'm just pouring out a little bit more of this yellow to just get around the edges. So hopefully you can kind of get the idea, and we'll just give that a little bit more water. Just move the paint around. Don't be scared of it. I think that's the biggest lesson I've learned, and I would say to anybody starting out on a mixed media journey, if you like, is don't be afraid. Just have a go. What's the worst that can happen? You put it in the bin. But you had fun in the process, so you know, that's what it's all about for me. So it's another blast, and that's probably enough of the yellow. I'm then going to go in with, can you see there, it's Payne's Grey. So again, on the side to my right, on my palette, again, just, I want that to be a loose, you might think, oh, that's a bit too dark, but again, we can just let that, and this is what I love, just give it a spritz and just watch what happens with that paint, and just let it do what it wants to do, let it move around, add some more colour as you want, and let it just move around. And again, give that a bit of a blast up, and we'll come back with a brush and see if we want any more. So all the time we're just thinking, have I got enough? Is it enough colour there? If not, we can just darken it up again. Oh, there goes my heat tool. Let's get that there. Over here again, and we're just gonna again let that, I want to build the dark up in these areas that I've got it going now, and just use the edge of your card, edge of the tag, just to get the paint moving off the brush. You can add some water if you want to get it moving a little bit more, and again give it a spritz, move it around, just let the paint go where it wants to go. And when you've had enough, give it a dry. Again, just like to dry each layer so I don't get mud. Nothing wrong with a muddy mix up of colours, but it's not what I want to do on this one. So let that just have another couple of seconds. And my wire's all messed up there. Right, the next colour I think I'm going to go with, as I did on the original piece, was the quinacridone violet, just to give it a bit more warmth, I think, on this one. Tiniest little bit of paint, just a little bit of water. These Decoart fluid acrylics are just a really lovely consistency and really work well to being given some water to them. That didn't quite explain what I meant, but they're a nice consistency to start with, and just a little bit of water just loosens them up a little bit more. I hope I'm doing this in the right way there so that you can see. I've just added water. I've not spritzed the actual tag this time. Oh, and I've got some on my finger, so that's not great. I've not added any water onto the tag this time, just off my brush, and sort of help it along if you want to between your texture paste. You know, you can use any stencil that you've got. I just went for this one, so I like how it's swirled around. And you know, you don't have to use these colours. Again, I'm just trying to show you how easy this kind of process of mixed media tag is. There's loads of inspirational videos out there that I've been watching over the years, and probably, like lots of people, been quite scared to have a go, but it's addictive once you get it and you're not frightened of the products. Just getting it onto the page, onto your book, onto your tag, onto trading cards, trading coins, whatever it might be. There's a lot of enjoyment to be had. So that's probably as much as that I'd like to do. Maybe a little bit of on that side, just to loosen up there. And again, I'm just putting a little bit more colour down, excuse me, just to add a little bit more depth of colour. And you know, when you're doing this yourself, just work how you want to work. Allow yourself time to think how you want your colours to work together. And again, I'm just gonna give that a spritz up, a dry with a heat tool. If you do find you've put too much colour down, then you can always take it off with a baby wipe, spritz with some water, lift it off, and it'll work quite nicely. So for me, that's my colours done. So we can get those out of the way. We can get our texture paste out of the way. And you'll see I like to work on a pad of paper. Some people will work on just straight onto the glass, but I don't know, there's just something about just having paper. Anyway, so we've got to this stage. We're now going to think about getting our rust effects on. So as I said before, these are Prima Marketing. They're from Finnabar, and yeah, each of the colours are a different consistency, and this one's decided to go everywhere. And I do find if I don't use them very often, if they're left for quite a while, they will dry a little. So after I use them, I tend to just spritz some water in, just to keep them going a little bit longer, because otherwise when I've come to them in a few weeks' time and I haven't done that, I've found that they're quite hard to work with. So this sort of spray a little bit of watering just helps that consistency stay ready for the next time you want to use it. So this is brown rust, and it's quite grainy. So literally I've just got a spatula, and I'm gonna just get my tag, and I'm just going to start to just scrape along where you can hear that texture within that paste, hopefully. And I'm just gonna go along where I think I want that rust to show. So I tend to work with the darker colour first, so hopefully you can just see that there. I work around the tag, and I'm really working around the edges, not too much into the middle. So just picking up pieces again where I want that to go. Let's just kind of try and work a bit quicker for you, and we'll give that a blitz with the heat tool. Again, you can be as careful, as rough and ready as you want to be with that. Always got baby wipes to hand, so I just give my spatula a wipe, lid on there, blast with a heat gun. It's not the most attractive looking thing just at the moment, but bear with it, we'll get there. And these pastes work on so many different substrates. So, you know, we're just working on a cereal packet here, but if you're working on a canvas, on MDF, grey board, chipboard, you know, they work perfectly well. So again, this is the red rust, and again, it's that, hopefully you can pick that up. Ooh, where's my light? Again, it's got a grainy texture, very similar. So I start again to just pick up, build up where you want that to be. And if you don't want it lumpy, if you want it more smooth, it really is up to you how you want that to build up. But as I say, just going in and picking those bits up there. Excuse me. And like I keep saying, be as rough and ready, be as gentle as you want to be as careful as you want to be, but just do it. Do what you want to do and play around and see what sort of results you can get. And I can assure you, each time you do it, you'll think, oh, that's different. I'll do it that way next time. So again, clean off the spatula. Always make sure you clean that off, because once dry, that's not going to go anywhere. So again, we're going to just give that a blitz, and then we will go over with the goldy bronze shimmer. These pastes will bubble up under heat as well, so if you like that kind of effect, then you know you can keep your heat tool going on them for a few seconds longer to bubble them up for a little bit more texture. So that, for me, if you can pick that up there, is the sort of more roughness of the rust. Now, just to finish it off, is the patina effect paste. So this is brass, and you'll see that this is a much smoother sort of cream consistency, if you like. And I like to just go in with my finger. I tend to dab onto the paper first. You'll see it's a bit like a gilding cream, I suppose you could call it. I'm not sure if that's such a thing, but I've got a gilding wax too, which is similar consistency but drier. So we're gonna now just start to rub that over, and hopefully you can just kind of pick that up a little bit. Keep my finger as sort of flat as possible. Just try to, again, just pick up some of those raised areas with the bronze effect there. Again, you can go as, you can hear some of those little rust bits flicking off because they've not dried thoroughly. You know, you can by all means use a heat tool to speed things up, but if you want to take a more leisurely approach, then you know, let layers dry for longer, and you'll get different results too. So very quickly now we've got, hopefully you can see there, we've got that nice shine of the bronze going on. So hopefully you can pick that up under the light. And that's your tag. So those products for me, highly recommended. And I'll be back with you shortly to show you how to move on to the next stage of finishing the tag, and actually having something that is more a completed project. Thanks for watching, and hope you like what you've seen so far, and I'll be back with you soon for some more techniques. Thank you.